Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Compact Claustrophobia. So, since the last episode, I've been doing a bit of prep, getting us ready for what we're going to be doing, what we're going to be starting kind of this last little bit. I do need to get this quest done, but it's not really a big rush. At some point, I'll turn off the item conduit so that it doesn't send the blizz rods back over. That way I have long enough to just grab one. I actually might do that real quick. Yeah, because it's just about done. Let me just set this to never active on the extract from the fluid infuser, and then that way this can get a blizz rod and we can finish that quest out today. Because otherwise it's going to be one of those I just don't think about doing, to be honest. And there is this quest, we'll get to those. They're not really anything important to us at the moment, but giant potential, getting our giant compact machine, we do need to start working on that, and then subsequently moving to the maximum compact machine. And I did get some stuff prepped up for these because these are going to take a lot of glitched large machines, and large machines of course are the ones that unfortunately we cannot craft at the moment with the miniaturization, so I have to craft them through this method. A little bit time consuming, not too bad though overall, just a lot of leaving this running, to be honest. But I have gotten those together. But before we can actually start making these, we're going to have to get the glitched large machines, and we're going to have to start basically mass producing sewage, because eventually we are going to be needing, for the glitched giant machines, we're going to be needing 64,000 millibuckets of sewage per glitch giant machine. Now, one thing, let's pop over. I did move over this to here, and I've routed power up to there because we're going to be working in here a little bit today. This is our pressure poop injector that we set up a bit back. Now, the fluid input, the one that we have is only a 4,000 millibucket one. We're going to go ahead and just grab this, because before we can really do anything, we're going to have to upgrade this. Let's pop back over. At the bare minimum, we're going to need to get up to the huge fluid input hatch. Now, these are all pretty straightforward to craft. We are going to need just a bunch of hoppers. So let me get some chests. I don't think I've actually plugged up my old planks. These were just some in the system. So I'm going to have to get those plugged up. But let's get 1, 2, 3, 4 hoppers, and then let's get ourselves there's a stack of buckets, and then I think all the rest of this should be pretty straightforward. There is our normal fluid input hatch, our reinforced fluid input hatch, our big fluid input hatch, and then our huge fluid input hatch. Okay, so that part's done. So we'll pop back over and attach that. And that way we can store up to 64,000 millibuckets. Now what we need to do is we need to actually set up sewage. I'm not too worried about this being like super crazy because we're only going to use this for a very brief period of time. Realistically, long enough to get us up to our compact machine here. But we're going to need to be producing quite a fair amount of sewage for this, and in turn quite a bit of poop as well. So what we're going to do, let's pop over, let's grab a few things that we're going to need, and I'm going to try using a fluid pump. I crafted one of those, and let's get our engineer's hammer. Let's also get let's see, do we want to use a dropper for this? Yeah, let's get a dropper or two. I don't know. We'll see what we end up using. And then let's get a timer, which we've already got one crafted. Let's also get a sawmill. Let's get a sequential fabricator. Oh, and I did set this up, and I just ran it temporarily, just to build up some sawdust, and I did plug it up to the system. So we do have 2,500 sawdust, connected up to the system. So just a heads up there, we're going to be using a little bit of sawdust today. But let me get let me just get a bit more oak wood planks. These are going to fill back up really, really quickly, but we are going to need those. Couple of those. That. And you will notice I do have 36 large compact machines. Those are the ones that I got crafted for. I think that's what we're going to need to get up to a maximum size compact machine. I think it was 36. There's our Sequential Fabricator. And then let's go ahead and get one of these. And let's also get just a Hardened Upgrade Kit. Then let's get some more aluminum wire, and let's also get, we'll just take item conduits. Then let's also get a couple exporters. I'm going to need basic processors. Of course, we could set up auto crafting at this point, but I don't think that we're going to. I don't know that we're going to bother, but we'll see. And then construction cores, and there is a couple exporters. Okay, and the main thing that we're going to be exporting for this is going to be sawdust. So let's grab one of these. And then we're also going to be using some kind of something to make pulp bioblend. I'm probably going to be using sugarcane, truth be told. And then let's also just go ahead and get a couple caches so that we've got those. Okay. Because we are going to be producing sugar as a byproduct from the sugar cane, and then we'll be storing up poop so that we've got that. Just to go ahead and mark our caches, let's go ahead and grab a little bit of sugar and whatever poop that we've got in the system. That's 13. Okay. So now we should be all set. We might have to grab a couple things, but I think this is going to be most of it. Alright, so let's pop over to here. And what we're going to be doing, we've got this water supply here. We're going to be breaking this down, but for right now, this will be good for us to have it here. And, oh, I'm going to need a tunnel to bring in our cables, because I don't actually have those coming in. So, let's go ahead, and let me go ahead and just toss our water kind of out of the way here, and just have it over here for right now, because I do want to use the area over here, I think, for a bit of this. Okay, so what we're going to do, I think what we're going to do is we're going to do this kind of backwards. So we're going to have, and let me get a block too. Honestly, cobblestone would be fine for right now, just to get this set up. But let's see, if we have, and the fluid pump, I've got to see if this is going to work, but I think we can get it to work for us. We're going to set this to input on this side. And over here, we're going to do output on this side. And then we're going to go ahead and just set up, yeah, I guess I could have just done that in the first place. That's okay. We're going to set up some water here and basically create an infinite water source. But, oh, but I need the, okay, I'll tell you what. Okay, we're going to change this again back to exactly how it was. Yeah, I think this will be good. And then if we were to throw in, well, we got to run power over to this first and foremost, because it is going to require some power. So what we're going to do, we're just going to run this up. I may have to craft up some more cables. That's fine. So let's get some wool. There's that. And our aluminum wire. Which I don't think, I've got to double check, but I don't think this is actually plugged up to the system yet. I think I just brought a bunch of aluminum over. I don't know where we're at on aluminum. Oh yeah, we got 2,800. Okay, so we'll just run that over. And then we should be able to, let's see. How do we want to do the fluid output for this? And this will need, I believe it needs a redstone signal. So let's just grab a lever. Yeah, so if we set that up there, it's going to start collecting water. Okay, that's perfect. So basically what we'd be able to do then is throw in, of course, poop. And it creates sewage. And then it's going to collect that sewage. Pump will no longer replace fluid blocks with cobblestone. This has caused lag. It's not advisable when dealing... Yeah, we're just dealing with this one spot. So, okay. Alright, so now what we're going to do, now that we've got that in place, we are going to set up a dropper here-ish. Yeah, probably here. And if we were to throw in our poop, let's make sure that it's going in the right place. It should, unless it doesn't get caught on this. That's going to be my only concern with this. But worst comes to worst, we can use a conveyor system. So we'll see. Yeah, see, it hits, the poop hits right there. Okay, maybe the dropper is not going to work great here. And what we'll do is we'll have the conveyor belts basically just block all this off. Have the conveyor belts feed over to, like, say, there. Or have the... Oh, no, we don't necessarily need this. We could do this the smarter way and have the dropper... though it still is kind of a concern, I think, that it will drop onto there because of the nature of droppers and how wild they tend to drop. But we'll see. So we put the dropper there. Put our poop into there. Set that up. There we go. That's going to drop the poop, make the sewage. That should be good there. And then as for producing the poop, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to back this timer off just slightly to say right here. And these will share time intervals. And then that'll put us having this dropper setting here, which will be perfect. And it's going to use this spot here. And we're going to convert this over into water. And this one's going to do pretty much the same thing. It's going to be throwing poop into the water. And if we have multiple poop in the water, nothing bad happens. That's good. And then what we'll do, because the way that poop is created is by throwing pulp bioblend into sewage to create poop. So let me pull this up. Let's get a little bit of redstone here. And let's also get ourselves a couple things here. I want to get a fluid router real quick. Okay. Let's pop over. And at this point, let's go ahead and set up our sawmill. This is going to be where the, let's see, cables are going to come out for this. Let's do it here, I think. And let's do a tunnel coming up out of the floor here also. This is going to be the upside, I believe. I'll double check. Exporter on the side here, and we're going to say that you can input on this side. And then the cables run up like so. Out here, that's going to be, yep, that's where the cable's at, so we're just going to plug that over. And we're going to say that the exporter can export sugarcane to this. So there we go. It's going to start exporting that. And every 8 that it gets, it's going to make some pulp biomass and some sugar for us. Then let me go ahead and just run over some power to that also. Now let's see. We're going to go ahead and put a cache in, say here. This one's going to get sugar, and we'll go ahead and just say that you can auto output that sugar into here so that we do have that stored up in case we ever happen to need it. It can be used for smelting. Each piece of sugar will smelt one item, so there is that, that option. Now next up, our Sequential Fabricator. We're going to set this up right here, and we're going to go ahead and just upgrade it. And pattern validation, clear that out. And we're going to say that the recipe that we're going to be making is going to be the, let me grab some of this, pulped biomass with sawdust makes pulped bioblend. So we're going to set that recipe in. We're going to say that you can input from the bottom, and you're going to be able to output out the top. So it's going to go ahead and start pulling in that that pulp biomass there. And then just to make use of our pattern validation, let's actually pop out here and let's grab ourselves a chest. Now chest, we're going to set up right here, and we'll do an exporter there. Say that you can export, it's going to be sawdust, and we'll just run a cable over like so. So we're going to start getting some sawdust from the system, and we're going to say that you can input there. And that should, auto input is enabled. There we go. It's going to start grabbing sawdust for our sequential fabricator. And then we run over some power to this, and that's going to start running, and it's going to start making us that pulp bioblend, which of course is used to make our poop. So that part is done. The next thing, let's see, we're going to basically be sending this over. We're going to say that you can output there, and realistically, we could use a dropper on the same timer system, which might be what we do, to be honest, because I think that's actually going to work out. Let me grab some redstone conduit, and let me grab a dropper. And we also need like a collector of some sort. Maybe go with a vacuumulator. So there's that. That should be good. Pop back over. And we'll set up our vacuumulator, which we're not going to put any redstone in for checking inventories or anything. We will put in some for basically just shutting off this just whenever tanks fill up, because there's no point in going above and beyond on creating sewage. But for the rest of this, I'm not all that worried about it. It's all just kind of passive. So I don't think we're going to bother with setting up too much in the way of like shutoffs and stuff. But we're going to put our pulp bioblend in there, and we're going to go ahead and put in a accumulator. Let's say right here. But I'm hoping that this will be slower than the droppers as far as the poop hitting the water. If not, I'll have to make some adjustments, but that's okay. But we're going to go ahead and just shift right click the vacuumulator, whitelist, and only allow poop in there. We don't want anything else going into this vacuumulator. So now we've got pulp bioblend coming into there, and we'll go ahead and throw in, like 10 poop. And we're also going to say that you can auto output to the bottom, to this dropper, because we want this dropper to fill up basically with poop. And then what we're going to do is just run out our redstone. This one will come over. This one will come over and hit the dropper. Oh, wait. Which, if there's any excess poop, this will pick it up, which is good also, to keep us from wasting any poop. And then let's go ahead and have this come out as conduits and just feed over to that dropper. Should be good. Input, output. And I think that seems to be working for us. Let's see, we're at 17. I know it's dumping excess pulped bioblend, and that's just because of a startup thing. Okay, yeah, that's actually not going to work, because this picks it up so fast. But I think what we can do is just use a delay for this. So what we'll do instead, let's see, run this out. And I actually want the redstone conduit to feed in right here. Just hold up there. And we're going to set this to redstone high or redstone low. And let's get ourselves a repeater. We're going to go with the one from Project Red Integration for this. So there's that. And then let's pop back over. And that way we can basically slow this down, so it's not too fast on the pickup, basically. And depending, we may not need this dropper. Let me turn this off for right now. And we'll just attach it here, since we can. And we're going to turn this repeater up to, like, I think right there. Or maybe one more. That way it only gets like a second. Yeah, that's too long. That might work. So what we'll do, we'll say input on the red, output on red. Okay, and that's on low signal. And let's see how this does. Let's plug this back up. Which I'm going to need to make some more redstone conduit, but just for testing purposes. There goes that. Yeah, it's still a little bit too fast. Okay, so actually if we use the dropper with this system, this seems to be working well. And then we do output out the bottom. Let me clean off this. We got 53, and it should make some more. There's 54, 57. Okay, and it's rising now. 61. Yeah, okay. So having this set about right there seems good. Still getting like some pulp bioblend from somewhere. Having it set right there seems to be working, even though it does look like the dropper is occasionally missing, which isn't great. Let me... That's because I removed the cobblestone. That's why that happened. Which that is actually getting triggered by something else. I think it's this is activating it. Not really a big deal for us because it's all still kind of keeping up and throwing poop in. Okay, so we'll just plug all this back up and the system should be able to continue running. And we take a look here. Yeah, that seems to be working fairly well for us. And right now it's actually kind of staggered a little bit, which works out well also. But basically just toggling on and off the vacuumulator seems to solve all that issue. So, and having it a little bit delayed there and only kind of a brief period for it to actually pick things up seems to be doing the trick. So we are coming out positive now on poop. Alright, so now what we can do is we're going to set the... Let's see. How do we want to do this? We can just run it straight across. Which I'm actually curious, if we were to drop poop down over here... Yeah, the vacuumulator does get it. And I'm going to go ahead just to prevent this from happening, because the droppers are so wild. We're going to put a block there. And a block here, and a block there, and a block there. Just to kind of block all that off. I'm probably going to change that over to glass, just so we can kind of see what's going on inside. But I'll go grab some glass here in a minute. But the main thing is we are producing poop. But over here, if we drop excess poop, that's fine because the vacuumulator will pick it up. So we don't have to worry too much about overproducing. So I'm not going to worry about a shutoff for this, since we aren't going to actually really need it. The main thing is just running our poop over. We're just going to come across like so. And then we'll set the vacuumulator to output out the back. And this will be able to extract always active. And we'll turn on the insert to this in just a second. But if we did, for example, it's going to prioritize filling up this dropper first. But once this dropper is filled up, then it will send excess over to that dropper as far as our poop goes. And we could put a cache in to store even like above and beyond, which we might do, but we'll see. Yeah, I guess, actually what I'll probably do is put the cache in, say right here, and run that over like so. Whoops. Okay, we did get a little bit of poop. So right now it's actually kind of splitting. A little bit of it's going into this dropper, a little bit of it's going into here. So I think I'll leave it like that. I think that's good. And then we'll just run this over like so. Extract is always active. And then once again, if excess gets dropped, it's going to get collected by the vacuumulator. And if it happens to miss, and maybe somehow it hits this and slides and hits the fluid pump, that's fine. This is still going to pick it up. So, okay, so now at this point, what we need to do is handle our fluid pump and basically set up sort of a filtering system for this. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put a fluid router in right here. And we're going to take our buckets. We're going to grab some of this sewage. And we're going to say the yellow side right here is going to do sewage. And that's all there is to that. I'm just going to go ahead and dump that into there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to say that the white side, and now we can just pull this out, the sewage. So we're just going to use like fluid conduits. There we go. And it can feed out that. And I'm going to go ahead and set this to on. We don't necessarily have to do that, but it is sending that sewage back. But what's going to happen is our fluid pump is probably going to get filled up on water. So what we're going to do to handle that is we are going to just grab ourselves, find a good place to grab it. We're going to grab ourselves a bucket of water, and we're going to say that the white side is going to be water. So water is going to come up right there. And we're going to go craft ourselves just a universal bin. And that way we can just void out the water, because it is going to get some excess water. Because there's no way to really filter the fluid pump. Now, we could use something, honestly I don't even know if this pack has anything for it. But of course in some cases you can use things to have it detect if the correct fluid is there. I don't know, how much do I have as far as zirconium? Not much. That's going to be rock crusher with diorite. Come on, one more zircon. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Whoops. And we're not going to end up using the fluid outlet. We're not going to need it for this. We're just going to get this smelted up real quick. Get our zirconium. And then pop back over and get our universal bin. Oh, it looks like I've already got one. I guess I should have checked, but that's fine. There's another one. They're useful, so pop back over, and we're going to drop in our universal bin right here. So water should get sent up. It might not connect straight onto the fluid router, so what we'll do is we'll just pull out oh, I don't have this turned on actually. That might have to do with it. We'll put the universal bin in right here so that you can extract. Hit that, and we should. That's going to start going up. Yeah, if this does happen to get water, it should send it straight up. I'm going to put that there to keep it from bouncing, because sometimes it bounces up high and then it gives the vacuumulator time to grab it. But water's being sent to the bin, just getting voided, and our sewage is being sent over here. Now, once this backs up and the pipes back up, then it's going to stop accepting that. The poop will then get picked back up by the vacuumulator and just kind of sent back around. So that should be fine for us. And we are now producing sewage. Now, right now, it's not super fast. We could tune this timer down, but I don't think I'm going to. I like where the repeater's at, or where the speed of this is at the moment, because it's all working quite nicely and keeping up. And we're producing pulp bioblend. We're producing a little bit excess, but not at like a super crazy amount. And it looks like... I don't think we're waiting on sugarcane, to be honest. I think it's just... they're just taking a little bit for that exporter to send it. We could speed it up. I'm not all that concerned about it, truth be told. But this is going to start building up. Now, we could put a tank in here, too. And we might do that. Just to build up excess sewage. Because that would help us out overall. So let's do that real quick. I'm also going to go ahead and just grab a hardened fluid duct. Just because it should move stuff faster than the fluid conduit does. And then let's go ahead and get ourselves a hardened upgrade kit. And then what we'll do is this will give us a little bit more of a buffer for our sewage. So we'll have this attached right there. I'm going to disconnect this. We want it all to go to the portable tank. Hardened upgrade kit on that so we can store a bit more. And then what we're going to do is just harden fluid duct it over. So there we go. That's going to start going into there. Now at this point, what we can do, which I'm going to be letting this build up a bit and getting some of this stuff crafted, between episodes. But the glitched large machine takes 32,000 millibuckets. Let's pop over. And at this point, I just got to let sewage build up. And that's not a big deal if I just let this run for a little bit. It's not super fast. We could do something a bit faster, of course. When it comes to doing something faster, we have to try to get this to toggle and reset it. But, of course, making it run faster is going to make the vacuumulator a bit more problematic as far as toggling off fast enough that the poop still has time to drop. Honestly, I like where we have it right now, which is a 3-second interval. So basically every 3 seconds, it has the potential to make some sewage. So sometimes it hits the sides and stuff, and sometimes the vacuumulator grabs it too soon. It's whatever. Generally, it makes sewage, though. Generally. Not always, but generally. So let's go ahead. Tiny item input. If we throw in our large compact machine and we give this a minute, it's going to start processing that. And we will end up getting ourselves a glitched large machine. Yay. So what I can do is I can just throw these in there and let those run for a bit. And as soon as it has the sewage, it'll run it and drop it off. Now the ones that take 64,000, we don't need nearly as many of those. We only need 6 of those because once we get all of these made, we're going to do this, and then we're going to make like 6 of these, and then we're going to do this using 6 of those giant machines. So it's pretty quick to kind of move up through to the maximum compact machine, because it's all pretty much, once you have the pressure poop injector set up, it's all pretty well done at that point. It just takes a lot of resources and a little bit of time. A lot of sewage, basically. Probably should have set this up sooner, but I just now got around to it. So, and I may upgrade our sewage storage also. But yeah, so with that, we're going to end out this episode here. Because I know it's about wrapping up point, but next episode, when we come back, we are going to be pushing on, we're going to get our giant compact machine and our maximum compact machine, and at that point, we can start working on the high impact compactor, and we do have to get cryo-stabilized flux ducts. Ooh, some of this stuff's not great, but maximum compact machine, oh, it needs a maximum compact, oh gosh. Well, that's okay. We'll handle that, because once we get our first maximum compact, we'll use that maximum compact to make making our other maximum compact a whole lot easier. So that's actually not a big concern for us. The inputs, outputs, impulse item ducts, that's just going to be glowstone. The hatches are fine. Honestly, most of this is not going to be too bad. But the Tritium Lamp takes tritium and hardened glass, and that tritium is our double deuterium. Some of that stuff that I was voiding. Whoops. That's okay. I can either run it again, because we only need like 8 of these, and that's like, you know, just a couple cycles with the tritium or with the deuterium running. Not a big deal. Yeah, that's what I'll probably have to do. It's not. I've just got to basically jumpstart the system again, but it should be a whole lot easier this time. And I may, before I do that, I may expand on my power storage even more, because right now we do have 4 more of these voltaic piles set up, which seem to be getting drained by something. Oh, you know what it is? Gosh, I am voiding my energy. Oh, GG me. Yeah, okay, whoops. The universal bin can also void items and energy. Worth noting, and I had it up next to the aluminum wire. Whoops. So all that energy from our reactors was just getting voided into the ether. Yeah, so that's a thing. Alright, then, okay, so that should be fine now. But if I let this power build back up, yeah, there we go. We'll have double the storage as last time. I may even go a step further and expand it more. But yeah, so we're going to start turning our attention over towards the high impact compactor. I'm not sure. I don't guess that we need emeralds for that. But anyways, come next episode, we are going to be, like I said, getting our compact machines. And then we're going to start probably looking at the high impact compactor, and we might get a little bit of this stuff done. It's mostly stuff that we don't necessarily need, at least at the moment. Oh yeah, this pack, I didn't even think about it, but this pack does have integrated dynamics. So we could have done our poop system with that too. Though right now, I think our poop system right now is running perfectly fine. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay updated with when new videos come out. And I hope to see you guys next time. So until then, as always, do take care, stay safe. I'll see you guys then.